Okay, good morning, everybody, or afternoon, I should say.
Yeah.
I'd like to call the meeting of the Middlesex County Municipal Joint Insurance Fund to order. Notice of this meeting for January 11th. This meeting was given by sending sufficient notice herewith to the Home News Tribune, the Asbury Park Press, and the Jersey Journal. By filing advance written notice of this meeting with the clerk/administrator of each member and posting a copy of the meeting notice on the public bulletin board of all members. I direct the secretary to enter into the minutes of this meeting, the advance written notice of this meeting, and this statement. Can I get a roll call, please?
Michael Sika,
Here.
Ricardo Lanos,
Here.
Jeanette Larson,
Here.
Harry Delgado,
Here.
Michael Julis, Mike
here.
Julis,
He's here.
Joseph Zenga,
Here.
Mayor Heck, William Kurtz, Glenn Kurtz, Leon Sokol,
Here.
Scott Recant,
Here.
Joe Monzo,
Here.
Donna Setzer,
Here.
Jim Gauthier,
Here.
Louis Gauthier,
Here.
Sean Kelly,
Here.
Dominic Sinelli,
I'm sitting in for him. It's Suzanne Bridge from Brown and Brown.
okay, Robin Rassiopi,
Here.
Karen Waters, Sean Walsh.
Here.
Charlie Cradaville, Holy Ring. Thank you. Anyone else?
I'm here. This is Michael Drulis. Sorry.
Oh, okay, Mike.
And I thought I saw Karen Waters.
Yes, I'm sorry. I had to
Yeah.
unmute myself. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Have a quorum, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so the first order of business is the election of the executive committee, alternates, chairman, and secretary. So do we have any nominations from the floor? Glenn, I'm gonna have to ask you for a little bit of info on this because we're all on the board, right?
Correct. Chair.
So there's no
Yeah.
nominations for number one.
The board is now comprised of the existing members who will all serve a voting seat. Given the fact we are an even number of members, the board will elect one member on a rotating basis throughout the until we become an odd number. It was recommended giving the borough of Carteret an additional commissioner to sit on the board to bring it to 7. So resolution 2023-01 lists the current commissioners. Down below, it will be adjusted to reflect the borough of Carteret to select an additional commissioner to sit on the board. And I've received word from Mr. Sika. They will be appointing Ricardo Lanos, who was joining us today. So,
Okay, great. So can I get a motion to adopt the resolution with the addition of the appointment of Ricardo Lanos for Carteret as a committee?
second.
Mike Sika,
Yes.
Jeanette Larson,
Yes.
Harry Delgado,
Yes.
Mike Julis,
Yes.
Joe Zenga,
Yes.
Cardo is in.
Okay, great. Next we're looking for resolution 02. I guess we want to see if there's any other dare I say nominations from the
Chairwoman.
floor for a chair. Do I hear any? I just hear crickets, I'm sure.
I don't think so. In fact, I want to commend you on your leadership.
Oh,
It's
stop
that
it.
Take
That was a
on
great
yet another
job.
term We could amend that to be a 5-year term.
Chairman,
Uh-huh.
chairman for life.
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of.
Yeah,
This is part of the old joke about everyone who does not want to be chairman, step forward, not using it.
Yeah, right. They all take a step back and I'm still standing there. Okay, so then can I get a motion to appoint Jeanette Larison as the chair?
Motion, Michael Drillis.
second forever.
Michael
And-
Sika,
Yes.
Catalano's,
Yes.
Jeanette Larison,
Yes.
Harry Delgado,
Yes,
Michael Drulis,
Yes.
Joseph Senga.
Yes.
Okay, next is the secretary position. So do we have any nominations from the floor for that?
I'd like to nominate Michael Sika.
Okay, yes. I'll second that. Okay, so there is a resolution prepared to, do we have a motion to appoint Michael Sika as the secretary?
Motion, Michael Drillis.
second, Harry.
Michael Sika.
Yes.
Ricardo Lanos,
Yes.
Jeanette Larison,
Yes.
Harry Delgado,
Yes,
Michael Drulis,
Yes.
Joseph Senga,
Yes.
Okay.
unanimous.
All right, now we got that taken care of. We can go and vote on the general resolution. So resolution 2023-04 is the appointment of the official newspapers and meeting schedule. Do we have to do these individually?
No, you could do them as a consensus. The only thing I would like to add, Chair, Resolution 2023-06 Cash Management Plan. In the actual plan document, the full name of Roosevelt Bank is United Roosevelt Bank. So that will be one change made. Other than that, you can move on all the resolutions.
Just a point of order. I like the idea of moving on all resolutions, but can I just ask that we go through them in brief? Just let Glenn give us a little bit of what they all are, and so that way we all know we've been thoroughly informed.
Yep, sure.
Absolutely. Resolution 2023-04 is the official newspapers the fund designates in which to publish all public documents in, as well as the adopted meeting schedule for the 2023 year. Resolution 2023-05. The fund must designate an office or agent of service to receive all official documents of the fund. The fund has its offices here in Old Bridge, listed as the agent of record. 2023 is the cash management plan 2023-06 cash management plan of the fund. Every year, the fund must adopt a cash management plan and update it. This was sent to Mr. Monzo prior to its finalization, who has reviewed it and signed off on it. It's regarding all cash accounts and deposits and investment accounts. 2023-07 is the CD alcohol and drug testing program. All members who have CDL drivers, this is a resolution that does the certification and alcohol and drug testing for the members in order to keep your guys on the road. 2023-08 is a recreational sports coverage that the JIF buys on the individual member's behalf.
Who's talking?
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
To cover your recreation programs. And 2023-09 is the indemnification of the commissioners and the employees of the fund. This also is a resolution which is annually executed and renewed.
Okay. Are there any?
There were two typos in 2204, in 2304, it says 22. that should be changed, and in in 08, it also says 2022 instead of 2023. So just correct those typos.
My bad. Search replaced didn't work as well as I thought.
Are there any questions on any of these resolutions?
No, let's move them as amended.
Okay, so can I get are you making a motion, Michael?
Motion. Yes, motion as amended. Yeah.
Okay, for resolutions 2023-04 through 09. Do I have a second?
Second, Joe.
Michael Sika. Yes. Ricardo Lanos,
Yes.
Jeanette Harrison,
Yes.
Harry Delgado.
Yes,
Harry Delgado,
yes, sorry.
Michael Drulis,
Yes.
Joe Zenga,
Yes.
Okay, moving on to resolution 2023-10 for professional contracts. Glenn, you just want to give a brief overview of what we're doing
Yes,
with that
Chair.
one?
As you're aware, we were working with Leon and Scott in updating the RFQs for the 2023 year. And hopefully, we were shooting to have that all accomplished by this meeting, and unfortunately didn't get done. So the resolution is a continuation of the existing contracts on a month-to-month basis, pending the completion of the RFQ process for 2023, which should be done by the next board meeting. So
Okay, any questions about this resolution? If not, I'll need a motion and a second for approval.
I'm sorry, can I just ask, Glenn, I didn't hear when you thought you were gonna have this out?
the RFQs will be going out as soon as I get the final draft from Scott's office. It will be published and you will be sent a copy for a response on it.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, motion to adopt the resolution 2023-10,
I'll move it.
second?
Second, Michael Drillis.
Michael Sika. Yes. Ricardo Lanos,
Yes.
Jeanette Harrison,
Yes.
Harry Delgado,
Yes,
Michael Drulis,
Yes.
Joe Zenga.
Yes.
Okay, great. Next, we have approval of minutes. So there was minutes from November 16, 2022 meeting and the December 7th, 2022 meeting that were provided in the packet. Looking for a motion and a second to approve unless you have comments.
oh, there's a few typos, but they're immaterial. So I'll move the motion to accept them. To approve them.
Okay, thank you. And a second?
Second, Joe.
Michael Sika.
Yes.
Ricardo Lanos,
Yes.
Jeanette Harrison,
Yes.
Harry Delgado,
Yes,
Michael Drulis,
Yes.
Joe Zenga.
Yes.
Okay,
Moving on to the administrator's report.
Madam Chairwoman, just on 2309, the directors and officers insurance. It's not on the resolution, but we've discussed this with Glenn, and when the policies are obtained, copies of those policies, as well as copies of all of the excess insurance policies, will be sent to all the commissioners
Great.
so that everybody has in their possession exactly what the coverages are.
That's excellent. Thank you.
And the DNO will also be sent to all of the officers and employees, consultants that are covered by the policy.
Great. Thank you. Okay, Bill.
Okay.
Yep.
Cash position, Amboy Bank, 3,625,762.77. Freehold Savings, 5,253.67. And United Roosevelt Savings, 25,022, for a total of 3,656,037.67. In the claims department, I get my list out, I'm sorry. Claims budget, 2017 through 2022, 36,654,593 against the claim budget of 31,305,135 and premiums of 22,018,485. The recoveries we have to date, not included in there, 3,571,993. It brings the deficit down there on the claims to 1,727,465. And just for your consideration, William M. Kurtz, who has been your administrator for 35 years, is contemplating retirement and will prepare a letter to Her Excellency Chairwoman and the fund commissioners this week. I want to thank you very much for allowing me to serve. It's been an honor and a pleasure to do some good for the citizens of Middlesex and in the past, Monmouth, Ocean, and Hunterdon counties.
Well, I for one want to thank you, Bill, for all your years of service. And we'll wish you well on your retirement and many golf outings to follow
I hope so.
in nice, warm, sunny weather.
Yeah. As long as my back holds up.
Well, I hope so. I hope so.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
I'd just like to add to Jeanette's sentiment, and thank you, Bill, for your years of service to this organization. I know I believe you were there since the beginning,
Yes.
or at least pretty close to it. And I congratulate you on hopefully being able to retire and relax.
Yep. I remember going to the mayor of New Brunswick saying, I got an idea because your insurance premiums are good. The fit's going to hit the shan next year. And we got to do something to keep them down. And he gathered 7 other towns together and we formed a JIF.
Bill, I just want to echo the words from the previous 2 commissioners that congratulated you, and I want to express my own personal congratulations for the years of service. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Harry. Appreciate it.
Yeah, Bill, this is Joe. Congratulations, and hopefully your retirement serves you well. And yes, you were there from the beginning, and I know South River appreciates everything you've done for us.
Thank you, Joe.
Bill, Sean Kelly, lots of luck, good health, and don't take any classified documents with you.
That's funny.
My wife has the suitcase all filled up. I can't.
Yeah. Just say you didn't know anything about it. It works.
Bill, it's Mike Seek. I want to wish you good luck. And then from Carteret, we appreciate everything you've done for us.
Thank you, Mike, and say hello to the mayor. Yes.
And Bill, this is Leon. You and I have been involved in not only this fund, but other funds, and have worked together for many years. And I want to wish you the best and a long and healthy and enjoyable retirement.
Thanks, Leon. Thank you very much.
Okay, moving on to Mr. Monzo for a finance report, which I don't think we have one, do we?
We do not.
Okay.
Chair, in light of it being so close to the year end, Joe's in the process of wrapping up the reconciling the accounts through 12/31. I did want to state for the record, as of 12/31, with respects to the deficit assessment for the 2000 to 2020, the following members have made payments toward their assessment: Milltown, South River, Carteret, South Amboy Redevelopment, New Brunswick Board of Ed, MCUA, New Brunswick Parking Authority, Jamesburg, and LMPA and Seabright, for a total collected of $1,203,656.69. I've discussed with both Joe and the auditors with respects to reconciling the financing of directing those funds to be applied to the years in which those members were in the fund. And we will be directing Joe to do the financial accounting for that, so.
Okay,
So
great.
basically, what we decided really was that as towns pay their 10% and then their 15 and then their 1/7 thereafter, we're going to just apply that to the oldest year's outstanding deficit from whatever years they were members. And then, any balance will be rolled forward. And as we get actuarial reports at the end of a given year, referencing those years, if any of the prior balances have changed, for example, if somebody's deficit went down, but they've already paid that year off, we'll just make some internal, changes to reflect that. So we always know that any given balances, the oldest ones have always been taken care of first.
Okay, makes sense. Does anybody have any questions or comments? Okay, moving on to safety and loss control.
Yeah, Chair, before I go, I know Don is on the line. I don't believe you had a report for today since it was so close to the last meeting, correct, Donna? I don't know if you had any
That's
update.
correct. I have nothing. Thank you.
Okay. On the safety and loss controls, Chair, as we closed out the year, included in the packets are the claim runs to close out two claims, new claims reported, as well as claims for pursuant third-party recoveries of $8,385,273. $3 million, that's in a general claim system. On the comp system, we got $3,259,319 collected. As you also aware, Mr. Gote is here to address any concerns the members has. He has been providing everybody with updates with respects to Peosha, and I'll let Jim take it to give anybody an update with respects to his plans for 2023.
Yes, good afternoon, everyone. Peosh has been out conducting inspections. There were a couple of similarities in the shortcomings that some of the sites have had. Number one, they're looking for the OSHA 300 log. You need to keep a copy of the last 5 years of the OSHA 300 log readily available for them to review, as well as the most current form that that you have created for 2022. The responsible individuals for walking around with Peosh should be aware of where you keep your updated safety and health programs and where the right to know central file is. These are the three standard things that they're going to look for. If the individual who's walking around with Peosh is not aware of these locations, it leads to problems. It leads for them to issue citations that are unnecessary and or make a more detailed return trip, which is not really something that you're looking forward to. So you want to make sure that whoever has the responsibility for walking around with Peosh at a set time or their designee are aware of where your programs and your documents are located. For the coming year, we'll be contacting the various clients, members of the JIF to get the right to know program started. As you know, that's due July 15th. And we will be providing safety and health training as required by the various members. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, any old business?
None at this time, Chair. Under new business, though, I'd like to let all the membership know for moving forward, our office will be doing a complete update with respects to the underwriting system and underwriting surveys with respects to the data we collect from the membership. It will all be automated in a online program where each member or their designated risk manager can have access to it and update as needed. We intend to get that up and running shortly. But in the meantime, with respects to all the carriers that have provided coverage for 2023, a couple of members were missing underwriting surveys. So we will be visiting a couple of members to make sure I have a signed survey, which we can send to the current carriers. In addition, we expect to go through a payroll audit for the membership once everybody's payroll documents, which are probably going out this week to their employees. I'll be circulating requests to the members for each member's payroll records. But other than that, things are moving ahead.
Glenn, any correspondence in New Brunswick, I'm sure you'll CC me on it so that we get right back to what you need, please.
Absolutely.
Okay. And that concludes the new business. Anybody have any other new business? Okay, we'll move to audience comments. Is there any member of the audience that wishes to make a comment?
Yes, Charlie Cradaville here. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Right. Good afternoon, Charlie Cradaville. I'm the editor of New Brunswick Today, and we are broadcasting the meeting live on the New Brunswick Today Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter channels. I wanted to start by saying congratulations to Mr. William Kurtz on the your pending retirement, and wish you all the best. Very curious to hear what the plan is to replace Mr. Kurtz. Is there a plan, or how might that work?
Well, since we're just learning of the retirement, we'll address it with the RFQ process.
Is there a timeline for when a replacement might be identified and installed?
Should
As
be-
I
soon-
won't leave till you get somebody.
As soon as possible. I don't.
Okay, well, no doubt, big shoes to fill, and I'll follow this closely. I do want the commissioners to know I've asked Mr. Glenn Kurtz to share with you all my article published last week regarding a Superior Court case against the New Brunswick City Councilman. I spoke about this at your last meeting, and I trust he will share the link to the article that I shared with him. But if you haven't seen it yet and you're eager to do so, please be advised you can find it at newbrunswicktoday.com. And I want to express my concern and my disappointment regarding this matter insofar as someone has made the choice to indemnify this city council person in this litigation, even though the litigation has nothing to do with the government of New Brunswick or his role as a councilman. And I'm very concerned that the fund and its members are essentially funding the legal defense for a elected official's private sexual harassment claim against him. And I don't think that that's appropriate use of taxpayer resources. I also am disappointed that I've asked some questions and have not been able to get answers. So, for example, I'd like to know how much monies have been spent on this legal defense. And I'd also like to know which counts of the claim the JIF is has indemnified Councilman Fleming for. I did ask these questions in writing shortly before the new year, and was, told that, after Mr. Glenn Kurtz discussed with the JIF Council that they can't release the financials. So just moments before this meeting started, I've now filed an Open Public Records Act request for the legal bills and additional correspondence regarding this case. I encourage the JIF to promptly respond and to comply with the Open Public Records Act, as well as the common law right of access, which I also filed under. And I was hoping to just get this information by asking nicely for the figure, but having requested reconsideration and not getting any response to that request for reconsideration, I'm going to pursue other avenues to get this information. I encourage the JIF to comply. This is really cause for concern. It's something that alarms me, and I imagine alarms a lot of other taxpayers to hear that this fund that's supposed to help keep costs down is actually taking on a burden for an elected official that's got nothing to do with our local governments here in New Brunswick, and all of you on this call should be concerned about it too. So I would encourage you to read that article. I'd encourage the administration to respond promptly to my OPRA request and be more transparent about this matter. This is taxpayer money that's being used. We have a right to know how much of it's gone to this case, and we have a right to know who made that decision. So I will, conclude by just asking on the record, for the record, is there anybody on this call who can tell us who made the decision to indemnify Councilman Glenn Fleming in this matter, Boy v. Fleming?
Madam Chairwoman, this is Leon.
Mhm.
Charlie, we understand your concern and your inquiry. And I assure you that we are seriously considering what the obligations of the fund are and what the obligations of the fund are not. And it's under serious consideration. And when the conclusions are reached, they will be made publicly available.
Through the chair to Mr. Sokol, please. I appreciate Charlie's need and attention for detail for his website, blog, story. His question almost seems like these are arbitrary or non-procedural decisions. Could the attorney for the JIF just help educate Charlie as to, is there a process in which these matters are handled? Or I'm not saying he said it was arbitrary, but the way the question came across sounded like that, and I wouldn't want him to not have every detail for his blog.
Yes, good. Commissioner Drulis, when a claim is made against a municipality or a public official for that municipality, the claim comes to us initially, and it is just a claim with allegations, and determinations are made as to two things. One, preliminarily, to what extent are the claims covered or not covered? And secondly, which is separate based upon the coverage we provide, to what extent is a legal defense available? Those decisions were made initially in closed session, as we do with all claims, to protect the privacy of both the claimants as well as the entities or individuals against which the allegations are made. And a coverage response is then provided. And that was the case here. And when additional information comes to the attention of the fund, that is then subsequently considered as to the obligations of the fund going forward. And we always do it in terms of what coverage is provided, does come within the scope of coverage, and if not, what is the most efficient way to minimize the cost and exposure to the fund. And that is also what is happening in this case. And that'll be discussed further in closed session today.
Great, thank you, and I appreciate that thorough answer. So it does seem like there is a procedure, and procedures are followed, and so thank you for that information.
And yeah, thank you to Mr. Sokol for taking it seriously. I do just want to supplement my comments by noting that the city of New Brunswick is not a defendant in the matter. And indeed, the judge who's handling the pretrial motions, Judge Corman, sitting in Middlesex, was not persuaded by the defendant's claim that the Tort Claims Act should protect him from this litigation, and the complaint's been reinstated. And indeed, that judge did say on the record that he thought that the councilman was not entitled to having the city pay his legal costs. You can read the quote in my article that, in all honesty, I don't believe he's entitled to indemnification from the city, but that's the city's choice. And so I'm just trying to get to the bottom of who made that choice. And it sounds like, this board in a closed session made that choice at some point. And do seriously encourage you to take the information in my article seriously and to reconsider the situation, because I for one am not happy with my city government and our tax dollars going to defend this case when it does not touch upon the city or the work of the councilman. So that's all I have to say today. I hope you all have a great new year, and I'll look forward to attending future meetings and continuing to share my thoughts with you.
Charlie, I bring some more good questions, and through the chair, if you don't mind, I'd like to ask Mr. Sokol another question to Charlie's benefit and mine.
Sure.
Mr. Crowderville seems very well studied in this case, in this matter, and I appreciate his questions. In the matter of insurance decisions, are there statutes or that require funds to do this analysis, to make these decisions, or is this just something that the JIF could randomly, arbitrarily pick up?
No, I think that the obligations of the joint insurance fund is broadly covered by statutes and regulations. It's the members of the JIF get coverage initially by the amount that the JIF itself, through its members, decide it will provide coverage for, and the amounts in excess of that obligation, which is generally known as the self-insured retention, is covered by excess insurance. And what is covered and what is not is spelled out in the coverage documents, which are public. And when claims are made, those are taken very seriously, because particularly when a claim is made about an injury claim to an individual, that's taken very seriously, because that individual is entitled to due consideration. But on the same token, we defend the claims, and we take that very seriously in terms of the defense of a member or an employee or official of a member. And that is applied as the matter proceeds. And that was the case in this case. And as more information is provided, that's reliable and verifiable, the commissioners are advised by counsel in closed session as to what their options are and how to proceed. It is not appropriate to have these matters debated publicly in the press when individuals' rights are involved. So we are mindful to protect everyone involved with regard to their rights, and that's the way we proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Sokol. That's helpful. It's helpful, and I know as Mr. Crowderville is studying this matter, he's probably also, if he didn't know, happy to know that these procedures are set by statute, that the JIF does have procedures, and we do our due diligence regardless of the claim. So that was very helpful and clarifying to me, and I hope so for Mr. Cradibill as well. That's all I have, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Is there anyone else in the audience that would like to make a comment? Okay, hearing none, I'll move down the list. So we have no bill list this meeting. Is that correct, Glenn?
Yes, Chair, it's still very early in the month. I only got a couple of the January bills in, so I will circulate a bill list to the board for consideration at the end of the month.
Okay. And then moving on to closed session. Can I get a motion and a second to enter into closed session?
I move it.
Harry,
Yes.
Mike Siga?
wait, I need a
Wait, I
second.
don't have a second.
Oh, I thought he was.
Second, Mike Siga.
Okay, can we just do an all in favor for
Yeah,
this?
that works.
Good.
All aye,
Aye.
any opposed? Who is 5522?
That's saying, that's
Joe
Joe
Monzo.
Monzo.
Monzo's back, okay. All right, Harry, Jeanette, Monzo, Sokol, Trulis, Rakant, Joe Zanga.
Charlie,
you wanna go back
Charlie
to
is
the
still
waiting
on.
room?
Glenn?
Donnie, you want to go in a waiting room or?
Recording in progress.
All right,
Okay, we're
so-
good? Okay. All right, so I'll be looking for a motion to approve the claims as listed or as reviewed.
So moved, Harry.
Second, Michael.
All aye,
Aye.
Aye.
opposed,
Okay, next we have a resolution regarding the MCUA.
Motion. Michael.
Second.
Mike, Harry. You want a roll call on that? or
Yeah, I
what?
think we need a roll call, yes.
Okay, Mike Sika,
Yes.
Joe Zanga,
Yes.
Harry Delgado,
Yes.
Ricardo Lanos,
Yes.
Mike Julis,
Yes.
Jeanette Larison.
Yes. Okay, then we have a resolution naming all the members in default.
So move it. I move it.
Harry,
Second,
Second.
Michael.
second Michael. Mike Sika.
Yeah.
Joe Zanga,
Yes.
Harry Delgado,
Yes.
Ricardo Lanos,
Yes.
Mike Julis,
Yes.
Jeanette Larison.
Yes. And then last, I just need a motion to adjourn.
Gladly move that one as well.
Second.
Second Joe, all aye,
Aye.
opposed.
All right. Have a good one, everybody.
Thank you, folks.
Everybody.
See you
Thank
soon. All right, take care.
Thank you.